Now, I understand you visited the Culinary Union, that would be Local 226, that went on strike in Las Vegas. This is big, and I would be of the assumption that a lot of it's shut down right now. I don't know, but what's the story on that?
So they're not on strike quite yet. Their members have authorized to go on strike, which is a really significant step. But I would expect that if there is not meaningful progress over the next couple of weeks, then we will start to see at least a date set for when they would do it. But I think that the takeaway that I got, I was there for a train dispatchers convention, and we knew that there was this strike authorization vote had happened. We knew that the workers were fighting for a contract, so we wanted to talk to them, to that union, and find out where things were and learn more about it, and also, more importantly, make sure that there was no risk of me crossing the picket line when I flew out there for this thing. And so they asked me, and it was a really helpful, informative meeting about sort of where things stand, what they're fighting for, what the conditions are. And honestly, to me, what they were talking about sounded so familiar. The fight that they have is so familiar to what the fight we had on the railroads last year, the fight you're seeing in the airline industry over and over again. It's another example of sort of corporate greed, of people trying to take a look at what happened during the pandemic and use it from a corporate side, use it as an excuse to try to reset what the employment level should be. So essentially asking people to do a whole lot more with a whole lot less, and keeping employment levels sort of unnaturally suppressed, and then making more money off of it. And I think people are fed up with that. We're seeing it all across the country, and this is another example of it.
I got that confused with Detroit, because they did go on strike in Detroit.
Yeah.
They went out on, and there's, I believe, 3 casinos there, 2 or 3 casinos, and they hit that pretty hard. And to your point, very pandemic related, because everything was shut down, and the workers took a hit during that time. And now these casinos, they're doing pretty darn well. They're doing very well. In fact, they're doing better than they were before the pandemic, but they don't want to share anything with the workers there. And you think about Vegas, I mean, just about every union convention goes to Vegas. Isn't that pretty much the case?
Yeah, unfortunately sometimes. But yeah, it is. I think their business, I mean, they're backed up. They're making record profits, and for the big casinos, and their employment levels are, I think, at like 80% of what they were pre-pandemic, and I think they like it that way. Yeah.
Work them to death. That's pretty much what's going on. All right, Greg Regan, on behalf of the Transportation Trades Department of the AFL-CIO, ttd.org. Also, you can follow them on X, formerly known as Twitter, at TTD AFL-CIO. You take care, brother, and hopefully, maybe next time we talk, we'll have a Speaker of the House. You never know. Okay?
We'll see. All right. Thanks, Slash.